Some time out in the sun and they took my forehead temperature and it was 140 degrees. I thought I was dead. Good morning, everybody. Hi, it's Chef Chris, executive chef of Papakona Restaurant. Great day today. One of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world. Creme brulee. Creme brulee. Let's all say it together. Creme brulee. Creme brulee. It's a beautiful thing. A couple of different little tricks and nuances that I'm going to give you today. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to very, very simply, I have my little sauce pot here going and I've got 1 cup of cream. I'm going to make a very, very short batch of creme brulee today. Very short batch. And I'm going to get all that cream out of there. Right? Rather than doing a restaurant batch where I make 15 creme brulees at a time, I'm making a two creme brulees. So this is a his and her creme brulee recipe today. That's a short batch. Good question. Yeah, small batch, I should have said. Small batch. Everything in the restaurant here we do large scale, yeah? So first part of so I've just turned that on and we're going to do what's called bring this to a scald. And I'll show you what that in fact means. It's basically you're going to want to see some bubbles around the edge of this cream. So right now nothing is happening. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll turn our attention over here to this vanilla bean. Now, this is one of the very, very few Martha Stewart tricks that I do, okay? One of the very few. So if you are looking at this vanilla bean, it's actually wider this way and it's narrower this way. So what you'll see a lot of chefs do when they're cooking on TV is you'll see them take their knife and they'll cut it perpendicular to the cutting surface, okay? I don't like to do it that way. So I've cleaned off my little cutting board here. It's actually a cutting board surface anyway. So what I'd like to do with mine is I actually do almost like I'm filleting a salmon, if you will. I go along just like that. And what I find, and thank you, Martha Stewart, is the yield is much better this way because it's thinner. It's flatter and thinner, okay? So what you do now that you have this is you lay it back down and you just take your knife and you just scrape all those, that beautiful, look at that, beautiful. And just go ahead and pop that right into your cream right there. Nothing to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick that all in there with it. That goes in. We'll go ahead and do this one. Scrape out all that seed. Okay. And right into the cream it goes. Simple. So this is already coming up to temperature quite quickly. Of all the days that I don't have a wind factor of, 80 miles an hour to contend with, let's just go ahead and do one more. I like my creme brulee to lean towards the vanilla side. Vanilla. More vanilla? Right, more vanilla. If it happens to break on you, don't worry. Just flip it over. So again, I'm going to give it a scrape. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So that's right there. And it's already up to temperature, so I'm just going to let that vanilla bean kind of take a bath right there. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. So we'll go to phase 2 of creme brulee making. So that was that. Pretty simple, right? Easy. Here's the tricky part. Here is the tricky part. So, I think I've covered this with you before in the past. My special technique that I'll show you guys one more time, how to separate an egg. You ready? You got to pay very, very close attention to this, okay? Ready? So, separating an egg, part 1. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. That's a separated egg. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my whites into this bowl and my yolks into that bowl. So that'll be no yolk. No yolk, get it? No yolk. So just like that. Yolk in. I'm going to go ahead and put my shell right in there. No biggie. Whoopsie. It's a fumble. Don't worry if you fumble your egg like that. Just scoop it up right there like that in your hand. Do not panic. That's 2. And I'm going to go for 3. I'm going to do 3 yolks. 3 yolks. I brought a 4th egg just in case. I know myself too well sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and take these gloves off. Since they have eggy wag all over them, I have my little cornstarch down here, and let's go ahead and put on a new pair of gloves, and we'll proceed. So the technique that's going to be showed here today, guys, this is the critical point of cooking. So I've got an egg yolk in there, okay, and I've got super hot cream. Now sometimes what you'll find yourself doing is you'll add too much cream or the eggs into the cream, and what'll end up happening is you'll scramble your eggs. So this is a classic French technique called a liaison. A liaison. So what I'm doing is bringing together a hot and a cold. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, this is also in English, it's known as tempering. Tempering. So what I'm doing is I'm tempering the egg yolk. Okay. So first thing that I want to do though is I don't want to just do straight yolk. I'm going to add in about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Okay. Right into that egg yolk, and I'm going to start to whisk it. So you see how bright yellow it is right now? What you want to do is you want to whisk this until it gets nice and pale yellow. Take a little bit of time. It happens pretty quickly. See how the color's already changing from that bright yellow to a more pale yellow? I'm kind of whisking in some air. There. See that? Quite a bit of color change from how it started. That's great. Okay, that'll work. Okay, that's great. So, I have my container that I'm going to drop this into once it gets done. So here's where the trick. So again, I have my yolk already whisked, and I've got my hot cream here. All right, got my hot cream right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly whisk in a little bit of this cream right into that egg mixture. So what I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to bring up the temperature of the egg yolk to match this cream, but I'm doing it a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. I'm not trying to cook my egg yolk right now, okay? Get a little bit more. So again, for your test, it'll be on the test. This is called tempering or a liaison. Tempering or a liaison. Now, guess what I have right here right now? Right at this point, guess what this is, guys? It could be an ice cream batter. Easily be an ice cream batter. Okay? Now, one of my favorites, I think it's one of my wife's favorites that I make as well. During the holiday season, I'll actually leave this out. I'm going to strain right into it. During the holiday season, Halloween and such, I like to make a pumpkin creme brulee and hollow out the little mini guy pumpkins and put the brulee right in that. So what I want to do right now is I want to bring this up to temperature just a little bit, okay? I want to cook this out just a little bit to give my cooking time a little bit of a head start. So again, we're looking for a nappe consistency, okay? Nappe, a la nappe, and it's drawing a line through and it holding the line a little bit. I want it to hold the line just a little bit more than that, okay? Excellent. So I have, you don't want to cook this to a custard, okay? You don't want to cook it now. So that's just about enough heat that I want to put on this. I can see it starting to thicken a little bit, but I don't want it to go much more than that. So again, you guys have seen me work with this before. This is called a chinois, okay? It's a very, very fine mesh strainer. So that's going to catch any of my little particles or anything that I don't want in this. It's going to catch it. It's going to also catch my bigger stems of my vanilla bean. I'm going to go ahead and get all that off right into the strainer. Fantastic. Sure, our oven's off, our stove's off, and we're just going to go ahead and push that right on through. I love to see the little pieces of vanilla bean, and I like to smash it down pretty hard, get all that good vanilla bean out of there. See how it's kind of landing on the top, those little black specks. That's all vanilla bean flavor right there, guys. Okay, but it also catches any of the egg that might have happened to cook. It catches it. So, there we are. Right now, if I wanted to head to the ice cream maker, I can do that. But since we don't have an ice cream maker, I'm going to make creme brulee. So what I have here, guys, is I actually have, it's a little higher. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called a bain-marie. When you bake these, you want to do it in what's called a bain-marie, or a bath of Marie. Okay? It actually has a pretty cool medieval translation. It's just a water bath, but there was lots of Marys along the way that this was attributed to, and Marie Antoinette in French cooking was the one attributed to as far as this goes. So what exactly does a bain-marie mean? It means that I'm going to cook it in water. It means that I'm going to cook it in water. I brought it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my batter in first. So take my batter, and I'm just going to drop it in straight away, right into my little ramekin. I have the oblong ones here at Papakona. If you wanted to use the more traditional fluted kind like this one right here, you can do that as well. Not a problem. There's no rules and regulations to that end. So what I'm going to do is notice how I put my creme brulee mix in there first, and now I'm going to drop in my water to make my bath. Now what I want to do is I want to fill this up to just about halfway up the vessel. Okay, that's good. I got it about half the way. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop this into about a 375 degree oven. Now what I want you to look at real quick here is you'll always ask the question of when it's done. Okay, so right now when I jiggle it, when you jiggle it, see how jiggly that is? Okay, that's a jiggle. Okay, that's what you don't want to see. So through the magic of TV, I'm going to pop this in the oven right under here. Ha ha ha. I got an oven right under here. Voila. So this is a final finished one. Notice how there's no jiggle on the top. It sets firm, okay? So now here's the fun part. Now, in my past life, when I used to have my cooking camp, I would actually do creme brulee with 7-year-olds, believe it or not. They were always very, very skilled at doing so. And always the main part of that class and the big selling point was I'd let the kids actually use the blowtorch, and they loved it. Naturally, I wouldn't give them the blowtorch to be waving it around. One of my instructors would be behind the children actually holding their hand, but it's the simple things that kids really love to be involved in. Okay? So, here's the, just so you know, creme brulee. Creme brulee. This is the creme. This is the creme. And this is the brulee. What does that exactly translate to? It translates to burnt cream. Burnt cream. Creme brulee. Brulee means burnt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sift that sugar around and kind of make sure that it's equal. Okay? Now if you like, you can get that thick baker's type sugar, that crystal sugar if you like. You can mix in a little brown sugar if you like, or just go straight white sugar like I have right here. I'm going to shake a little bit of the excess off. There, now, see that? So I have it kind of leveled out. I've got it kind of equal, okay? Now, here's the fun part. When you do this, guys, when you brulee, and you guys can get these torches at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those warehouse type establishments. So, gas on, flame on. Now, when you do it, you just got to be very careful, and you watch it happen right before your very eyes. I love it. Look at that. Oh yeah. Just kind of hit it in spots. Very good. Excellent. Look at that. So that equals the color that we know and love here at Cooking in Paradise with Chef Chris, which is, say it out loud, golden brown and delicious. Golden brown and delicious. Right? So, very simple. And again, I hear you guys all saying, Chef, you keep doing all these dishes, we can do them at home. Why are you doing stuff that's on your menu? Unless you live on the bay, this is where you're going to eat your creme brulee. And I think everyone's kind of fed up with cooking at home, so let us cook for you. So come on down to Papakona and try our creme brulee that's on our dessert menu. I'm going to go ahead and put a little garnish. I'm going to give it 3 pieces of strawberry just because I want to do things in 3. Voila. Like so. And now my favorite part of the whole endeavor here, cooking in paradise. So again, this is key to it. Whenever I'd grade this, I would always grade it on their ability to make a nice topping too. Not too thick, okay? You don't want it to be a giant thick piece of hard caramel to get through. You just want it to be a nice little breakthrough. Look at that. I think it's one of the best things in the world. Creme brulee. I don't think it gets any better than that as far as simplicity and pure deliciousness. So, once again, Chris Allen, executive chef here at Papakona on the beautiful Oneo Bay. Hashtag still beat my background. Come on, why can't I get this hashtag going? My background's better than anybody's. So please, help me trend that. However you kids do it nowadays. I don't even know how to do it, so help me out. We are up and running. We're operating Wednesday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. here at Papakona. We're open for brunch, lunch, and a beautiful sunset menu that you can come here and watch a beautiful sunset, have some drinks, eat some poo-poos, see your friends that you haven't seen in a while. Do it here at Papakona, okay? Papakona.com. We are also still doing our dinner delivery or dinner takeout Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Check online, papakona.com, for all that information there as well. Okay? Haoli i kau papaina. Bon appetit. Mahalo.